Applied understanding of leadership, developing relationships, building teams, and conflict resolution. Assignment 3 by Katie Smiley, Adrienne Moulard, Sue Ellen White, and Danny Collins. Good leadership is a never-ending effort to make connections, foster and encourage effective communication, promote a positive and healthy work culture, and take quick action to resolve conflict. Building relationships, creating functional and collegial teams, and successful conflict resolution are all interconnected, with the major requirement and catalyst for change being trust. You cannot have an open, collaborative environment without a team of individuals who feel respected, valued, and empowered. You cannot build a successful team without clear communication, connections, a culture of collaboration, and common goals. You cannot resolve conflict effectively unless you have trust and communication. Together with my team, we intend to discuss how three main components, developing relationships, building teams, and conflict management, are key to improve teacher and student achievement, retention, and morale. Katie will start by exploring a case study in developing relationships, and specifically how developing relationships can be achieved by mentoring, building capacity, and establishing trust. Adrienne will then describe a case study for building teams in her workplace. You can see that team building is an important component in educational leadership because it builds capacity, encourages distributed and democratic leadership, and ultimately improves outcomes for students. Next, Sue Ellen will discuss her case study in which she used the 6 steps from Davidson and Wood to resolve conflict between herself and a co-teacher. You'll see that the 6 steps to conflict resolution help us to tie together our learning and experiences while respecting the perspectives and needs of all stakeholders. Finally, all of us will briefly share with you what we've learned about these 3 topics while putting together this presentation.
The first case study that we would like to talk about today is revolves around developing relationships, whether that is as a school leader or as a principal, an administrator. The idea of building solid relationships is key to any organization. The case study that I would like to talk to you about is one in which that I have been affected by or a part of. At our school, we have a program similar to what Cosner was talking about in their article with regards to mentoring and kind of an induction to new staff, whether it's at the beginning of the year or middle of the year or whenever a new staff comes in, there is this mentorship kind of welcome to the team aspect. And the picking of the mentors is something that comes from the admin level. Of a couple things are taken into consideration: years of teaching, subjects that you have taught, location in the building. Those type of things go into pairing new staff with existing staff. And the whole point of this is to ultimately build that kind of collective efficacy together and promoting that leadership that is viewed from one person to the next. Idea that Slater talked about. When you see good leadership, you kind of emanate good leadership as well. Now, indirectly, this mentorship program also helps keep spirits at a high. The idea of keeping morale and actual teacher retention, the idea that we don't want to wear out these new teachers when they come to our school. We want them to feel welcomed and in the know, and that they are looked after as such. And by doing this, we create this kind of genuine collaboration. That's another thing that Cosner mentioned. An idea that once we build that trust as a staff, it will trickle down to our students as well. When they see us learning together and working together, those skills are transferred as well.
The second case study we would like to look at is team building. Team building is an important component in educational leadership. As Susan Hill points out, leadership in organizational work teams has become one of the most popular and rapidly growing areas of leadership theory and research. Whether it is a senior management team, an administration team, or a professional learning community, being able to work collaboratively is crucial for student success. The case study I'm going to discuss is the team building that took place with our newly formed Core Competency Leader Group. Our school moved away from the traditional department head leadership style and encouraged teachers to apply for one of the positions as a core competency leader. As a core competency leader, the teacher would become an expert, so to say, in the core competencies as outlined in BC's newly designed curriculum. The group would come together to formulate and then roll out a plan with the rest of the staff on how we would collectively ensure we were focusing our teachings on the competencies and also in how we would ensure they were being evaluated. As Slater discussed in the article, Pathways to Building Leadership Capacity, building capacity in others involves tapping into the reservoir of underutilized talent within an organization and thereby providing others with the opportunity to shine, share, and contribute to the work of others. Each core competency leader brought knowledge to the table, which ultimately promoted leadership in others. This group was brought together very quickly, and because we needed them to function as a cohesive group, team building was important. Some important team building strategies that we used were similar to those used in the case study conducted by Mindich and Lieberman, in that we set direction for the group and ensured that everyone had the same vision or focus as to where we were going. We also ensured that we not only set aside the precious commodity of teacher time to meet within that designated time before any formal discussions took place, we shared stories of our students, our families, or whatever it was that came up, so that we had a chance to get to know each other as an individual, not just as a colleague. Because core competencies is fairly new territory for most, as an administration team, we encouraged the group to take risks, and we made sure they knew they were well supported by us. And while I did not find any course text to support this, I feel it's also important to mention, at every meeting we ensured the group was fed, and for whatever reason, this always seemed to help with team building. This team approach was very important as it led to more distributed leadership in our building. Our core competency leaders were able to run discussions at staff meetings and have informal conversations in our building about the direction of curriculum and more so of education.
Conflict resolution is a way in which two or more people use a step-by-step process to find a solution to a disagreement between them. Davidson and Wood, 2004, came up with a 6-step process for conflict resolution. This 6-step process was influenced by Thomas Gordon, a pioneer of the so-called win-win method, combined with the attempts to meet people's legitimate needs, with brainstorming the considerations of all possible solutions as put forward by John Dewey. The 6 steps involve defining the problem in terms of needs, generating possible solutions, evaluating those solutions, deciding on a mutually acceptable solution, implementing the solution, and of course, evaluating the solution at the later date. I believe that one of the reasons why I quite enjoy Davidson and Wood's 6-step process is because of that final piece of evaluation, that piece where you can tie together. We always teach our students to critically think, to evaluate situations, and it's no different when it comes to conflict resolution. We need to evaluate the situation to see whether or not what we did come up with is the best possible way to deal with our conflict. The case study that I'm going to use for the topic of conflict resolution to demonstrate the 6-step process is one of personal experience. I had a conflict with one of my coworkers when we were paired together to co-teach a topic. My coworker, an absolute wonderful person, had been teaching the subject for many years and had a lecture that she enjoyed presenting. She had done this lecture prior, and she quite enjoyed using the lecture method to teach the topic. I, on the other hand, had only been teaching for a couple of years and found that a flipped classroom technique to be more beneficial for our students. The first meeting we had together, we were very passionate about our methods and our teaching views, that we spent more time trying to convince one another the benefits of our view, that we started to lose focus as to what the true goal of us being paired together to teach a topic was. Working through the steps, we were able to come up with a solution that worked for both of our styles. We were able to come up with a solution that involved communicating and working together on the lesson plan with both the version of hers with a lecture as well as an interactive group project. At the end, the wrap up was done by both of us with both methods, and together we were able to collaborate and come up with a positive impact on the students as well as ourselves. It was a great way to learn something new from each other, and it was also a great way to work together. When working with other team members to figure out solutions to problems, it's not uncommon to have a little bit of conflict. Conflict resolution is a great way to work together in a step-by-step process to figure out a solution that meets both parties' needs. Shelley Andre has one of the best quotes, I believe, in regards to conflict resolution. The successful resolution of conflict requires mutual respect among all team members, active listening, good communication skills, adherence to the issue, recognition of differences, and acknowledgement of the emotional aspects of the conflict. By working together, we can talk, we can listen, and we can resolve. When choosing the topics for this group project, it was pretty easy to pick the three that we picked. Development of relations, team building, and conflict resolution are all key aspects to leadership. According to Leithwood 2007, behaviors of a successful leader are open-minded, listens to others, considers a wide range of options in the decision-making process, treats others with respect, includes all in the decision-making process, as well as learns from their mistakes. All of these are key to becoming a successful leader. And like any good leader, the best thing to do is have a backup plan. So if everything else fails, good old-fashioned race can solve any problem. Teamwork is about open communication, listening, and respecting one another. Collaboration is a team process required to reach a common goal. It helps provide leadership, efficiency, and motivation.
With a collective mindset, group dynamics of trust can be easily facilitated. Effective communication and overall motivation helps to build this sense of camaraderie. Exceptional teamwork comes from the combination of these key ideas.
Team building is about meaningful relationships built on trust. It is respecting that others can contribute in a purposeful way and that collectively you can have greatest effect. Teamwork. Together we are better.
To build an effective team and collaborative culture, there needs to be opportunities to build trust and mutual respect. In this assignment, respect and positivity developed from other connections in the course, which helped us all to quickly overcome challenges in communication and technical difficulties. In my own work, I will remember to have many opportunities for professional discourse, as well as opportunities for recognizing individual strengths and personal perspectives, which builds trust. I will also empower and encourage team members to find resolutions to conflict that will benefit all stakeholders, which will also build trust and will improve morale and ultimately achievement.